Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, where you get the most important news and stories from around the world every day. Subscribe my channel and click the bell icon to stay informed. On August 12, 2025, what began as an ordinary evening in Manila was suddenly and irreversibly transformed. The city's familiar rhythm, honking cars, laughter in the streets, the hum of daily life was shattered in a single moment. At exactly 8 p.m., every television, radio, and smartphone across the nation erupted with a special report. It was as if time itself paused, and the entire country turned its attention to the screens. The anchor, her voice trembling with disbelief, delivered the words that would echo across the archipelago. The Philippines sits atop a sea of black gold, trillions of dollars worth. Her face, usually composed, betrayed the magnitude of the revelation. In an instant, the nation froze. Conversation stopped mid-sentence, footsteps halted, and a collective gasp seemed to ripple through the air. News spread like wildfire. Text messages pinged, social media feeds exploded, and stunned silence filled homes, cafes, and even busy streets. The story was on everyone's lips, and disbelief quickly turned to curiosity and hope. The report detailed a top-secret multi-year survey in the West Philippine Sea, a project so confidential that even seasoned journalists were caught off guard. Geological data, seismic imaging, and the testimony of international experts all confirmed the find. The evidence was overwhelming. This was no mere rumor or speculation. What had once been whispered about in hushed tones was now undeniable fact, broadcast in crystal-clear, high definition for all to see. The Philippines, a nation long defined by its resilience and perseverance, now stood on the edge of unimaginable wealth and opportunity. The shockwave was electric. Hope, disbelief, and dreams collided in the hearts of millions. For many, it felt like waking up in a new world. For generations, prosperity had seemed just out of reach. The daily grind, long commutes, hard labor, sacrifices for family had been the norm. Suddenly, the narrative changed in a heartbeat. This was more than just a discovery of wealth. It was a validation of national destiny, a moment that united Filipinos from all walks of life in shared pride and hope. The government moved swiftly, calling an emergency press conference as the world watched and waited for official confirmation. The president, flanked by top energy and defense officials, addressed the nation with a steady voice, confirming the discovery and outlining the path forward. He spoke passionately of energy independence, national pride, and the dawn of a new era for the Philippines. His words ignited a sense of unity and purpose. For ordinary Filipinos, the struggles of daily life, soaring electricity costs, dependence on remittances from loved ones abroad, suddenly seemed solvable. The future felt brighter, and possibilities seemed endless. The air buzzed with questions, excitement, and possibility. What would this mean for jobs, for families, for the next generation? Conversations everywhere turned to dreams of a better tomorrow. The world had changed for the Philippines, and everyone, young and old, rich and poor, knew it. The sense of transformation was palpable. The president made a solemn promise. The nation's newfound wealth would be used to benefit all Filipinos, not just a privileged few. The crowd erupted in applause and hope. As the broadcast ended, a sense of hope lingered in the air. People sat quietly, reflecting on what the future might hold, their hearts full of cautious optimism. A new horizon had appeared, gleaming with promise and possibility. The sun rose over Manila Bay, illuminating a nation on the cusp of transformation. The Philippines was no longer just surviving. It was on the brink of a new era, ready to embrace its destiny and transform hope into reality. Details emerged quickly, sending shockwaves through newsrooms and government offices alike. The world learned that the discovery was not just a single oil field, but an interconnected network of vast reserves, both crude oil and natural gas, hidden deep beneath the West Philippine Sea, waiting to be tapped. At the heart of this discovery lies Recto Bank, a geological giant that is, astonishingly, even larger than Luzon, the Philippines' biggest island. Years of stalled exploration and political tension finally gave way to a secret, multinational effort. Using cutting-edge seismic imaging and deep-sea drilling technology, experts from around the globe worked together to unlock the region's secrets. Conservative estimates now point to over 20 billion barrels of oil, enough to transform the nation's energy landscape for generations. Alongside the oil, a staggering 200 trillion cubic feet of natural gas was found, resources valued at several $trillion, a sum that could reshape the country's future. To put this in perspective, the value of these reserves is more than 10 times the country's annual GDP, a figure that dwarfs the nation's current economic output. With this windfall, the Philippines could erase its national debt, fund ambitious infrastructure projects, and invest in education, healthcare, and technology. The country could also become a major energy exporter, sending oil and gas to markets across Asia and beyond, and securing its place on the global energy map. International geologists have rigorously confirmed the data. The reserves are real, the quality is exceptionally high, and the potential is undeniable. The oil is light and sweet, making it easy and cost-effective to refine into fuel and other products. The natural gas is pure, ideal for generating clean power and reducing reliance on coal and imported fuels. Most importantly, these reserves lie well within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, a maritime area recognized and protected by international law. The 2016 arbitral ruling by the United Nations further affirms the nation's rights to these resources, strengthening the Philippines' legal standing. This discovery is not just about geology or economics, it's a powerful declaration of sovereignty and national pride. The world is watching closely as the once quiet waters of the West Philippine Sea become the epicenter of a global energy shift, with headlines capturing the magnitude of this moment. Ultimately, this immense wealth belongs to the Filipino people, offering hope for a brighter, more prosperous future for generations to come. The economic impact is revolutionary. Trillions in new wealth could turn the Philippines into a global powerhouse. Foreign investment would surge, stabilizing the peso and boosting credit ratings. A sovereign wealth fund could secure prosperity for generations, investing in infrastructure, education, and technology. The government could finally fund universal healthcare, world-class schools, and modern infrastructure. Poverty could be tackled not by charity, but by strategic investment. New industries, petrochemicals, logistics, engineering would flourish. The economy would diversify and strengthen. The Philippines could become a source of innovation and economic power. For ordinary Filipinos, the biggest change would be in daily energy costs. The country's high electricity prices and frequent brownouts could become history. Domestic natural gas would lower power costs and boost reliability. Families and small businesses could thrive with affordable, stable energy. Transportation costs would drop as the country refines its own oil. Cheaper fuel would connect the islands, lower prices, and spur economic integration. Energy independence would mean national security and resilience. The Philippines would no longer be at the mercy of global markets. A self-sufficient power grid would signal a new era of strength. This wealth is a chance to build a just, prosperous society. A sovereign fund could launch the most ambitious education and healthcare programs in Philippine history. Modern schools and hospitals could reach every community. Infrastructure, high-speed rail, highways, airports could unite the archipelago and unlock rural potential. Millions of jobs would be created in construction, engineering, and tourism. Social housing and safety nets could lift the most vulnerable. Investments in agriculture and food security would support farmers. The dream, an inclusive economy where growth benefits all. The true promise is not just wealth, but a better, fairer nation. Opportunity comes with risk, especially in the contested West Philippine Sea, where every move is watched and every decision carries weight. The region's vast natural resources offer hope for economic growth, but also draw the attention of powerful neighbors and global players. China's sweeping claims and rapid militarization have turned these waters into a geopolitical flashpoint, heightening tensions and uncertainty for everyone involved. The discovery of valuable resources only raises the stakes further, increasing the risk of confrontation and making peaceful resolution more challenging. The Philippines must walk a tightrope, balancing strength with diplomacy and reinforcing alliances with the US, Japan, and other regional partners to deter aggression and maintain stability. International law, especially the 2016 arbitral ruling, remains a crucial tool for asserting rights and seeking justice on the world stage. Securing advanced technology and attracting investment will require fair, transparent deals with reputable global energy firms, ensuring that the nation's interests are protected. The government must be vigilant to avoid the resource curse, making sure that contracts are structured to benefit ordinary Filipinos and foster sustainable development. Yet, corruption remains the greatest internal threat, undermining progress, eroding trust, and putting the nation's future at risk. Ironclad transparency and strict accountability are essential to build public confidence and ensure that every peso is spent wisely. The sovereign wealth fund must be managed independently, with close monitoring and oversight to prevent misuse and guarantee long-term benefits. Anti-corruption laws must be enforced without exception, holding everyone to the highest standards regardless of rank or influence. Ultimately, the battle for integrity and good governance will define this era, shaping the nation's destiny and the lives of generations to come. The discovery forces a choice: fossil fuels, renewables, or both. Going all in on oil and gas promises rapid wealth and energy independence. Pivoting to renewables would use newfound leverage to build a green future. The Philippines has world-class solar, wind, and geothermal potential. The most pragmatic path: develop oil and gas while funding a massive renewable transition. Natural gas can bridge the gap, replacing coal as green infrastructure grows. Oil revenues can fund research and deployment of clean energy. This dual-track approach requires discipline and vision. The goal: prosperity today, sustainability tomorrow. This is more than policy. It's a test of national character. Will the Philippines use its fortune to unite and uplift, or fall to greed and division? The world is watching as the nation steps onto the global stage. Success could make the Philippines a model for others. Failure would be a warning. Leadership and citizen vigilance are crucial. The future depends on the choices of both government and people. The challenge: manage abundance with wisdom, not just endure hardship. The story is no longer about survival, but about building a dream. The Philippines stands at a historic crossroads. Trillions in oil and gas have changed everything. Promise and peril now go hand in hand. Will this be the catalyst for a modern, equitable society, or a curse of conflict and corruption? The final chapter is unwritten. The Filipino people hold the pen. Their choices will shape the nation's destiny. The world watches and waits. The real question: what kind of nation will the Philippines become?